Hiya, and welcome to today's edition of Caddy's Corner. It's the Stoop edition. See? I'm on my stoop. Maybe I'll just sit. So, I got my hair color done. Very exciting. I'm getting ready to go off to Commonwealth, bartending tonight in Park Slope. And today, I've been thinking a lot about what I'm going to talk about. Today's word of the day is brave. When I started bartending about 4 years ago, and I mean, it certainly happened in my life before that too, but in a lot more consistent way, something in that time in my life, I just gave up on having a filter about what other people thought of me. There's apparently a bird not very happy right now. I've always had a really strong, that's not true. I didn't always have a really strong filter of a mirror of what I thought other people were thinking of me. So I would act or react even sometimes for what I thought other people were thinking about me. It's funny, I just changed my profile picture on Facebook to one that was a family portrait taken at church. I was probably 4 or 5. And I remember I didn't like that photographer. I've talked about this before. I don't know if it's in a video or not, but I didn't like that photographer. And the look on my face is like, because he was like, smile, sugar. And I was like, you're creepy. Don't tell me what to do. So that sassy caddy has always been around. But when I go back and think about what I've thought about life and what my reactions were always very passionate and very energetic, and as pragmatic as I could be at any age I was. So, somewhere along the way that kind of got lost. I really started to care about success and perfectionism and what people thought. And some of it was learned behavior, some of it was innate behavior, but it all got mixed up into a big jumbled mess of never being good enough. And thin enough, pretty enough, smart enough, strong enough, brave enough. So when I started bartending, the one filter at least dropped off, and I really didn't care. I was in the middle of a messy life situation, and I didn't mind sharing that. I didn't always tell everybody everything, but quite often if somebody came in and asked, how you doing, I'd be like, oh man, it's a shit show, and I would lay out details. And a lot of times I would know people for some amount of time and have good days, and then they would overhear me or ask, and I would tell them some detail about what was going on, and it was a lot of big things, and they would be like, whoa, you're so brave. How can you be so happy? How can you be so happy? I wouldn't be able to do what you do. I wouldn't be able to overcome it. And I was like, brave? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm barely surviving. Literally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, psychically, on every level, barely surviving. What's this B word you keep using? Brave. I don't know what that means. And then as time went on and I solved more problems, and I think I did get happier, and I was a very happy person, and the bad times started to get further apart. So I didn't talk about them as much. What's the point of talking about it when it's in the past? It's done. What's done is done. Right? So then other people would come in, or they would hear me talking to someone else about in the past, something that had happened, recent past, again, all in the last 4 years, 5 years. And they'd be like, what? You're so brave. Today I was watching an interview on a Super Soul Sunday with Oprah, Elizabeth, I forget her last name. And she's the one who wrote Eat, Pray, Love, whoever that woman is. And she actually used the phrase, and I had to stop the video, of there's no way out but through. And if you've watched all of these videos, then you know. If you don't, catch up to speed. One night at the bar, Vinny, a firefighter in New York, who is not at the house that's right around from Montero's. He's not somebody I really know, but he was in there. And we were talking about rookies when they have to go fight a basement fire, which is the most intense heat, that the veteran firefighters will stand behind the rookies knowing that they will stop and not go into the basement. And they shove them from behind because there's no way out but through. And the day that Vinny said that to me, I wrote it on a Post-it note. It went up on my wall. It's still on my wall. It's a grand reminder that in the most extreme circumstances, someone passing away, someone getting sick, an accident, all of the tragedies of life, there is no way out but through. You have no choice but to just survive and figure out what's the next step. But I mean, would anybody look a firefighter in the eyes and say, you're not brave? But to them, they're just doing their job. And if I equate that to my life, then I'm just catty and I'm just doing my job. I'm inspired by people who I see doing brave things. I watched, the last couple of days have been rough. Phil had to go to the vet. He's fine. I haven't heard any updates on what his asthma situation is. The specialist hasn't looked at the x-rays, but I watched all of the British Bake Off show. I didn't watch all of it in one day, but I got through the last 4 episodes and got to see them win. Whatever, I don't even care who won. It was amazing to watch these people doing something they're passionate about, that they're good at. Then I switched over to Blown Away, which is the glass blowing version. And this amazing woman named Deborah, who's like a radical feminist and a wild personality, an amazing artist who has a lot to say politically and about the trials of the sexes and the future of this world. And it was just, I don't really care. I mean, I'm so glad that she won, but her win was putting herself out there. The art that she created on demand by these, you've got 4 hours, go, standard setup of reality TV, ended up giving her the most beautiful compilation of an exhibition. And then the final thing they did, the two were an exhibition in the room, and it was eggs and sausages and amazing, out of class. It was brilliant. But just watching people do what they love, with passion. To me, standing in front of a oven that's at 2,000 or 3,000 degrees, I can't even remember the number, it was so high it made no sense, and then sticking your hand on it with a little mitt made out of whatever, and sometimes cork, like, I'm just gonna touch this 2,000 degree glass. And they knew, I mean, the stuff that they made in 4 hours was mind-boggling, very brave. But to Deborah, it's like, whatever. I'm, like, I need another piece. I'm gonna go over to the, to the thing and stick in the 2,000 degree glass. So brave is all a matter of perspective. Starting to accept the fact that the conscious decisions that I've made and the repairs that I've done, some of them were very brave. But honestly, I felt like I was just called to act. And I was doing what was right for me. Not often, and always what was best for everyone around me and the world. Like that, the taking care of others things has been a constant thread in my life. Taking care of me as the primary is something new. So I'm going to keep working on that. I just went down to Pilar and had a couple beef empanadas. They were delicious. Got a lot going on this week. Trying to get as much done every day and still rest and work out and eat well and. So I guess that's it. My hope for today is that you'll be brave. Well, I take that back. You're already brave. If you're existing on this earth, you gotta be brave. My hope for today is that you recognize how brave you are. I am still working on that, but I think that it's important to hear someone say, "Wow, you're brave." Because that just makes you a little more brave the next time you face something you don't think you can. Or it scares ya. So let's keeping on. I'm gonna go upstairs, get my makeup on. Decided to do this before I even did that. Well, I still had a little bit of sunlight. Let me get a little but sunlight's still going on here. So anyway, have a blessed day, a blessed week, a blessed 2019, a blessed life. Hope all your fur babies are doing well, and we'll do it again tomorrow.